desperate man. Send lawyers, guns, and money. The shit has hit the fan. Guns and money. Send lawyers, guns and money. Send lawyers, guns and money.
Okay, I guess we're ready to go here. Evening, folks. Welcome to Season 1, Episode 4 of Real Talk with Real People here on the FFN network. I'm going to go ahead and get the bills paid first, do a little bit of housekeeping. We're going to jump right into things. We're on primetime with the platforms, so I would mind if you like what you see, go to those platforms, hit the subscribe buttons or the like buttons or whatever else it is that you need to do. And that helps us keep on presenting good content for you folks. The opinions that we have are our own. They are in no way reflect anything from the FFN network or any of our sponsors, which are i12 GIA, Global Elite Tactical Training. Now, that said, I'm Fog for fucking old guy, remember that. And my partner Rini is there. So we're going to get into a rather interesting topic that's close to Rini's heart here. Go right ahead, my friend.
All right. Anybody wants to call in and talk to us tonight?
That's an evil fucking loud one.
508-974-4231. 508?
Yeah, please do.
974-4231. Tonight, we're talking about the State of the Union speech last week. I ain't even going to name the guy that I'm going to have to, but I'm trying to not to. But anyway, the word of the night tonight.
Well, it's a state of confusion.
pablum. And I'm going to use pablum in this context.
Oh,
Joe Biden's State of the Union message was a senseless pablum. It can refer to ideas that are worthless, which the State of the Union speech was, empty, which the State of the Union speech was, dumb, silly, lack of depth, and specifics, all of which the State of the Union speech were. Now, for example, if someone is talking a lot about nothing and not saying much, they might be speaking pablum, which Joe Biden was. Pablum can also refer to trite, naive, or simplistic ideas or writings. Now, while I'm on that topic, there's a video out there. We couldn't load it tonight, but apparently Joe's speechwriters took the last 3 State of the Union addresses and just copied it and just changed a few things around for the 2024 one, just so we're all on the same page with this. So.
Oh yeah, why would we expect anything different? That's pretty much what he's done with his entire career, is just taking other people's work and called it his own or adjusted it as necessary. So yeah, that sounds about that. He would plagiarize his own.
Yeah, he's been bagged for plagiarism before. Yeah. Mr. Producer, can we start playing the excerpts of the senseless pablum?
Thank you. Oh my God.
President Biden taking in the chamber there, receiving applause from both sides, it seems. And any moment now will begin to deliver this, his third state.
Not since President Lincoln and the Civil War have freedom and democracy been under assault at home as they are today.
Stop it there for a minute.
Rare is the freedom and democracy are under.
So, freedom and democracy, Chet. Is freedom and democracy under attack by conservatives, or is freedom and democracy, as we saw yesterday, under attack by the Democrats?
Oh, definitely by the Democrats. They had their own version of what freedom and democracy is. And their version of freedom and democracy is that you have the freedom to do exactly what we fucking tell you to do and nothing else.
Yeah.
That's their freedom.
All right.
You know,
Mr.
big
Producer, you can
government
keep
provides
playing.
all for us.
Yeah.
They're attacked both at home and overseas at the very same time. Overseas, Putin of Russia is on the march, invading Ukraine and sowing chaos throughout Europe and beyond. If anybody in this room thinks Putin will stop at Ukraine, I assure you he will not.
After the State of the Union, while he was talking to members of Congress.
Ukraine can stop Putin. Ukraine can stop Putin if we stand with Ukraine and provide the weapons that needs to defend itself.
All right, Mr. Producer, hold it there for a second. Chet, what do you think is so important about Ukraine that keeps Biden up at night?
I think he's getting 10% kickback from everything that goes into Ukraine. And that money is laundered out. It's just a big money launder, all that is. So he gets a kickback from it. What's the name? What's the name of that hip hop song about something about pain in the brain? Whatever the title, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I feel about this whole situation now. You got Ukraine in the brain, and I think everybody's just about. It's time to put the big bad Russians to bed once and for all.
I don't. You know what? I don't think they're big bad Russians at all. I mean, I don't know. There's been so much bullshit.
You remember when Obama got in?
Don't you know I'm loco?
Obama got in somebody's shit during the debate about the 90s are calling and they want their war back with Russia or whatever it was that he was talking about. Yeah, that's the song. Here, turn that up there, Mr. Producer. Crank it up.
Well, yeah.
Talk.
So
That was pretty good. You
How
were right on top of
about-
that. I was listening to the music.
how about during the 2012 debate with Mitt Romney when
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah.
Obama was caught on a hot mic with the Russians saying, "Hey, I can't do nothing right now until I get reelected." I mean, he knew he was going to get reelected
Right.
before election day.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right, let's continue
Pain
with
in
the
the wolf
video.
brain, whatever that is.
Yeah,
That's enough.
good song.
Keep talking. I agree. He already knew that was going to happen. So this has been going on forever. You know, it just didn't happen when Joe Biden was elected president.
And something else I want
It's
to
just a
mention.
continuation of this
On
whole money
Mr.
laundering
B's show
operation.
earlier, he had a caller call in asking him, what guarantees do we get the Dominion voting machines aren't going to steal the election again? And frankly, we get no guarantees.
Yeah, there are no
I think
guarantees.
the election's up. I think the election's already in the bag for this useless pablum here, but that's my humble opinion. Mr. Producer, keep playing,
it's
please.
what happens after that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The video.
That is
Not the
all.
song.
That is all Ukraine is asking. They're not asking for American soldiers. In fact, there are no American soldiers in war in Ukraine, and I'm determined to keep it that way. But now, assistance to Ukraine is being
Really,
blocked
you lying sack of
by
shit.
those who want to walk away from our world leadership.
Pause that for a minute.
Wasn't long ago.
So, Chad, I heard last night that a bunch of U.S. service personnel were killed over in Ukraine. The Russians had hit a Patriot missile battery they were manning.
Yeah, one of the HIMARS. I think it was a HIMAR.
Oh.
I think, wasn't it?
How can this
Yeah,
useless
I haven't
pablum-
kept up with that as Scobie. Yeah, I'd heard the same thing.
Yeah. So how can this numbnut say that we haven't got boots on the ground there? He's lying.
Yeah,
You
of
know?
course he has. You know, we've
Oh.
always had boots on the ground one way or the other since.
Well,
I
there's
don't know
always special
what to do
forces
about it.
boots on the ground. You
A little
know,
bit of an
in
offense.
situations like this.
Well, yeah,
You know?
yeah. I mean, you
But I
kinda
heard
expect
it
that
back
in
channel
training
last
and
night.
mentoring and
A
advising
group of
and all the other
US,
stuff.
but I heard it back channel last night. A group of U.S. service personnel were killed when the Russians took out a Patriot missile battery.
Okay, we'll have to look into that a little bit more and see what we can find, if any specifics.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But,
that'd be good. If you could kind of poke around and see if you can pop up anything. It's kind of it's a bit of a tangent that we're going to go off on here for just a moment. But I heard this evening that he just kicked in another $7.4 trillion budget or something like that.
Yes, he did.
We're $34 trillion in debt. We're at $34 trillion in debt right now. 63% of all the income taxes collected currently go to pay the interest only on that debt. That's unbelievable. It's unsustainable. More than half of elected go to pay nothing but interest. And who's getting paid? China. Imagine that. I wonder if he's getting 10% of a kickback.
Yeah, so you hit the nail on the head with the dollar amounts.
Christ.
34 trillion, 508 billion, 210 million, and the last six digits are out of control.
Yeah.
So
it's just ridiculous.
Ronald Reagan
63%.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Producer, take it away.
Okay.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Now, Now my predecessor, a former Republican president, tells Putin, quote, do whatever the hell you want. That's a quote.
Okay, stop it right there.
A former president actually.
He never said that.
No, completely
Trump
out of
never
context.
said that.
Completely.
Took it completely out of context. He was
He
talking
said-
about NATO.
NATO, if they don't pay their bills, he would. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if NATO doesn't
Yeah.
pay their bills, then we're not going to get in the middle of. They got to start standing up for themselves.
So
And
this
what
piece of
happened?
shit just
They
took
started
it and twisted it into a major lie, which he's now broadcast
Yeah,
over the airwaves, so everybody could hear it.
yeah. Well, yeah, of course.
All right, Mr.
It's the state of confusion address.
Yeah. We had no union.
actually said that bowing down to a Russian leader, I think it's outrageous, it's dangerous, and it's unacceptable.
Stop right there. Stop right there. The only president that I know that ever bowed down to a fucking Russian leader was Barack Obama when he got caught on that hot mic. Chat, I just mentioned it. During the debate with
Fucking
Romney, he said, I can't, tell Putin
Saudi
I can't
King,
do much now. But once I get reelected in November,
Mhm.
we'll be able to get something done. Now,
Mhm.
how the fuck did he know he's going to get reelected in November? Unless the thing was rigged back then, too.
Yeah. Yep.
America is a founding member of NATO, the military alliance of democratic nations created after World War II to prevent war and keep the peace. And today, we've made NATO stronger than ever. We welcomed Finland to the alliance last year. And just this morning, Sweden officially joined, and their minister is here tonight. Can they stand up? Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And they know how to fight. Mr. Prime Minister, welcome to NATO, the strongest military alliance the world has ever seen.
Hold it up there for a minute, Mr.
I
Producer.
say this to Congress.
So, Chad, how do we know they're all paying their fair share?
We don't. We absolutely don't. NATO, I think, pretty sure NATO does the bookkeeping. So, and it's not even a matter of fair share. They're required to pay to put in a percentage of GDP of their GDP defense. Yeah,
I think it's like 3%. But how come Trump was on top of it and this buffoon isn't?
well, yeah, that's an excellent question. I don't know. I've given up trying to figure out why the state of confusion does anything. It hurts my brain. Back to the pain in the brain song. Just trying to figure out what these knotheads are doing.
Just let me say one
snapper
thing
heads.
before
That's
we
another good
continue
thing.
with the video. It's assholes like this and Bill Clinton that caused Rush Limbaugh to be born and caused people like us to pop up.
Yeah.
Am I right on that?
Although Mrs. Mama's Rush might have something to say about that. Yeah, never mind.
I didn't say we gave birth. I just said, they gave rise. All right, Mr. Producer, keep playing the video.
Well, it's a matter of conception.
We have to stand up to Putin. Send me a bipartisan national security bill. History is literally watching. History is watching. If the United States walks away, it will put Ukraine at risk. Europe is at risk. The free world will be at risk, emboldening others to do what they wish to do us
You
harm.
in Afghanistan, dickhead.
My message to President Putin, who I've known for a long time, is simple. We will not walk away.
Yeah, like you did in Afghanistan.
We will not bow down.
Yeah, he ran from Afghanistan.
I will not bow down. In a literal sense, history is watching. History is watching. Just like history watched 3 years ago on January 6th. When insurrectionists stormed this very Capitol and placed a dagger to the throat of American
Stop
democracy.
there, please.
Many of you are here on that darkest of days. We all
Hold up. Okay, there was no insurrection. There was no fucking insurrection. Let's get that straight. There was no insurrection. Nobody was ever charged with the crime of insurrection. Okay? That's just like assault weapons. AR-15s are assault weapons. AR-15 means Armalite. Doesn't mean assault weapon. So what they're doing is they're fucking twisting things. God damn it. This pisses me right the fuck off.
I know. It really does. You know, and there's still people locked up. Once one of these alleged insurrectionists is locked up in solitary confinement for 212 days. What's, you know.
Oh, how about this? I didn't mention the best part.
The
Marine, one of the Marines that got killed in Afghanistan, when he brought up Afghanistan, the father stood up and started shouting in the balcony. They hauled him out in handcuffs. He's still sitting in fucking jail.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Is he still locked up? I thought they let him, well, maybe. But yeah, for on a misdemeanor.
So you want to keep me going on this?
On a charge of interrupting Congress.
I'm all out of fucks
That's
to
the most
say right
disgusting
now.
thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Well,
all
we'll
right,
make a
Mr.
few up
Blaze,
or do
keep it
something
going,
with it.
brother.
saw with our own eyes the insurrectionists were not patriots. They'd come to stop the peaceful transfer of power.
They were patriots.
To overturn
They
the
were
will of the
patriots.
people. January 6th lies about the 2020 election and the plots that steal the election posed a gravest threat to U.S. democracy since the Civil War. But they failed. America stood. America stood strong, and democracy prevailed. We must be honest. The threat to democracy must be defended. My predecessor and some of you here seek to bury the truth about January 6th.
Ms. Medusa, hold on for a sec. Any chance we can get Ashley Babbitt on the line and ask her thoughts on democracy?
No, we can't because she's fucking
She
dead.
was shot point blank by a fucking guy named Michael Boyd. All right.
Yeah, she's murdered.
She was murdered.
That's the only direct death in that whole nightmare. You know, I didn't watch the State of Confusion address just for this reason. It just pisses me off. I just watched the highlights in the news.
Well, I wanted to watch it because I wanted to take notes then so I could be prepared for this useless problem that we're dealing with
you're
tonight.
a better man than I if you sat through this whole thing.
All right, Blaze, man, keep on.
Christ. Okay, well.
This is the moment to speak the truth and to bury the lies. Here's the simple truth. You can't love your country only when you win. As I've done ever since being elected to office, I ask all of you without regard to party to join together and defend democracy. Remember your oath of office of defending us all threats, foreign and domestic. Respect free and fair elections, restore trust in our institutions, and make clear political violence has absolutely no place in America, zero place.
All right, hold this up, Blaze Man, hold this up.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
Again.
So Anna Hartford said, I call this bullshit. Ann, you're 100% correct. It's total bullshit. But there's no place for violence in democracy. Oh my God, my fucking head's gonna explode. I may have to cut out early. Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
George Floyd, Minneapolis. Are you fucking kidding me? Police precinct.
Mostly
3?
peaceful riots.
Peaceful protests. There's no place for violence. And you know what? I want to puke right now. Keep playing it. Good. Summer of love. Yeah. I'll show you some love in a second.
It's not hyperbole to suggest history is watching. We're watching. Your children and grandchildren will read about this day and what we do. History is watching another assault on freedom. Joining us tonight is Latoya Beasley, a social worker from Birmingham, Alabama. 14 months ago, she and her husband welcomed a baby girl thanks to the miracle of IVF. She scheduled treatments to have that second child, but the Alabama Supreme Court shut down IVF treatments across the state, unleashed by a Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade. She was told her dream would have to wait. What her family had got through should never have happened. Unless Congress acts, it could happen again. So tonight, let's stand up for families like hers. To my friends across the aisle, don't keep this waiting any longer. Guarantee the right to AVF. Guarantee it nationwide.
What the hell does in vitro fertilization have to do with anything?
Well, he's blaming it on Roe v. Wade, how they're going to go after the IVF.
Like most Americans, I believe
Oh, is that where he's going with this?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
I thank Vice President
Yeah,
Harris
there it is.
for being an incredible leader, defending reproductive freedom. And so much more.
Kamala's good at reproduction. She spent more time on her knees with Willie Brown than anything else.
My predecessor came to office determined to see Roe v. Wade overturned. He's the reason it was overturned, and he brags about it. Look at the chaos that has resulted. Joining us tonight is Kate Cox, the wife and mother from Dallas. She's become pregnant again and had a fetus of a fatal condition. Her doctor told Kate that her own life and her ability to have children in the future were at risk if she didn't act. Because Texas law banned her ability to act, Kate and her husband had to leave the state to get what she needed. What her family got through should have never happened as well, but it's happening in too many others. There are state laws banning the freedom to choose, criminalizing doctors, forcing survivors of rape and incest to leave their states to get the treatment they need. Many of you in this chamber and my predecessor are promising to pass a national ban on reproductive freedom. My God, what freedom else would you take away? Look, it's a decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. The Supreme Court majority wrote the following, and with all due respect, justices, women are not without electoral power. Electoral or political power. You're about to realize just how much you get right about.
Okay, stop it right here. So, Ann, you have a friend in us. We're sick of the shit too. But who does he think he is to threaten Supreme Court justices? And then the next day, all over MSM, I'm reading they want us to expand the court now.
Well, yeah, of course they do, because there's a conservative majority, and they want to remove that, and make it a liberal majority.
And you know why all these douchebags?
Don't we have a?
You know why all these douchebag women are wearing white? The congresswomen in support of this
Roe v. Wade.
Roe v. Wade. Yeah, come on, give me a break.
Yeah. Well, I have been thinking about like synonyms for Democrat, like. I have Democrat, delusional, despicable, douchebag. That's a new one. I'm going to add that to my list.
Yeah.
Jesus, these people, man.
Thank you. There's no charge for that one.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, I want to see Blaze. Play the Gold Star Father video. Watch this one. This one really makes me want to throw up.
Americans deserve the freedom to be safe, and America is safer today than when I took office. Year before I took office, murder rates went up 30%. 30% they went up. The biggest increase in history. It was then, through my American Rescue Plan, which every American voted against, I'm mad at. All Americans deserve the freedom to be safe. And America is safer today than when I took office. Year before I took office, murder rates went up 30%.
That's a lie.
30% they went up. The biggest increase in history. It was then, through my American Rescue Plan, which every American voted against, I might add.
So the father's still sitting in jail.
Yeah. Didn't somebody do a fact check on like 30 lies that he told during this State of Confusion speech? I think.
I tried to do them on my own, but somebody supposedly did. Yeah. Blaze, you are good. You are fucking good. I love you.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, by the way, I'll see your douchebag and raise you a dumbassery. How's that?
Can we keep the dumb fuckery to a minimum tonight, please?
Well, that'll work too.
What you talking
It's a pair
about,
of dumb fuckeries. That's all.
What you talking about,
That's almost a royal.
So
That's almost a royal
Ann Hart
flush.
said he was yelling about his son. His son was one of the Marines killed in Afghanistan, and he was upset about that. And they hauled him out in handcuffs. His son was one of the Marines that were killed when Biden botched the Afghanistan withdrawal. At Abbey Gate.
Yeah, at Abbey Gate for HKIA. Yeah. Yep. Another sad state of affairs. And that's another whole different topic that we should probably do on one of these episodes just to bring it to light again. Yeah. Because everybody's forgotten like they have with everything else.
Yep. All right.
We should probably do that. Okay.
Keep
continuing
going.
On.
See who got left.
With the video. They're crickets. Hey, you know, they want us to eat crickets, you know, so.
No breaks tonight, so let's continue with the video, Blaze Man.
That's all right. We're highly trained professionals. We can handle it.
Clearly.
Waiting for somebody to throw her a fish.
Those bragging about overturning Roe v. Wade have no clue about the power of women. But they found out when reproductive freedom was on the ballot. We won in 2022 and 2020, and we'll win again in 2024.
Hey, Blaze Man, hold up here for 1 second. So, at the end of the show, I've so eloquently gifted a video outlining the power of women. So I'm going to prove this old fuck wrong. All right? Check. You're going to love this one, baby. It's a good thing we don't have any money.
Huh? I'm sure.
You're going to love this, baby.
It's a good thing we have. It's a good thing we have no money, because when we get sued, then. All
right, Blaze Man, keep going, brother.
If you, the American people, send me a Congress that supports the right to choose, I promise you, I'll restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land again.
Is he running for Congress, or is he did he say send me a Congress?
Folks,
send me to Congress, he said.
America cannot go back. I'm here tonight to show what I believe is the best, to leave their states to get the treatment they need. Many of you in this chamber and my predecessor are promising to pass a national ban on reproductive freedom. My God, what freedom else would you take away? Look, it's a decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. The Supreme Court majority wrote the following. And with all due respect, justices, women are not without electoral power. Electoral or political power. You're about to realize just how much you get right about. Clearly.
Yeah, that would have been a lot more effective if he used his creepy supervillain voice, whispering voice.
Yeah, that is a threat. he threatened the court.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep. You're really not supposed. You know what the hell happened to the three co-equal branches of government? You know, where did that get lost in the shuffle here somewhere?
when the Democrats took
and they've
office, because
forgotten.
do you think that they really give a shit about the Constitution? No.
Oh hell no.
And
No.
that's where your three branches of government are outlined. They don't give a shit. They want.
Yeah. No.
Dan Crenshaw hit the nail on the head today. They want power, and they want to keep it, and they don't want to give it up, and they're going to go to any extreme. They're going to go to any extreme they can to hang on to it.
Yeah, you know, they are the poster child of absolute power corrupts, and power corrupts absolutely. You know, it's just, if you wanted a dictionary definition of that, all you just look at the last 3.5 years.
Yeah.
4 years,
About the
however
power
long
of
it's
women.
been.
But they found
No,
out
man.
when reproductive freedom was on the ballot, we won in 2022 and 2020, and we'll win again in 2024.
Dan Hartford, you're correct again.
American
They don't
people
care about anything but
Send
themselves.
me a Congress that supports the right to choose. I promise you, I'll restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land again.
Send me to Congress. He's the fucking president. Now he wants to demote himself and go to Congress.
Yeah,
You know what?
I think he forgot what he's
Robert
actually
Hugh
doing.
was
up there.
right. He's senile and demented. He
America
can't be
cannot
charged
go
with any
back.
crimes.
I'm here tonight to show what I believe is the way forward, because I know how far we come. 4 years ago next week, before I came to office, the country was hit by the worst pandemic and the worst economic crisis in a century. Remember the fear, record losses? Remember the spikes in crime and the murder rate, raging virus that took more than 1
Caused by
million American
Democrats.
lives, of loved ones, millions left behind?
And the
A mental health
Chinese.
crisis of isolation and loneliness. A president, my predecessor,
Yeah, no kidding.
failed the most basic presidential duty that he owes to American people, the duty to care. I think that's unforgivable. I came to
Why
office
is-
determined to get us through one of the toughest periods in the nation's history. We have. It doesn't make new, but in a,
Please,
news
hold
in
up
a
right there.
thousand cities and towns.
So Trump failed his most basic obligation, the duty to care. All right. The duty to protect, he should have said.
Right,
Against
yeah.
the China virus. But China virus really manifested itself under him. But let's talk about the duty to protect for a minute. How about the southern border?
Yeah, that's not, yeah. Well, but that's all intentional. You know,
Where's his
I
duty to
constantly
protect?
try
Where's
to
his duty to
determine-
protect? Or where's his duty to care?
Well, yeah, it doesn't factor into this. You know, they'll still sit up there and talk about all this shit, but all this, everything's intentional. There's a plan that's being played out here, and the end game is to pretty much destroy our way of life in this country as we see it. My big question right now about the southern border is, the country's been flooded with illegal aliens who have no opportunity, no education, no medical health care, no nothing. And they show up here and the government gives them all this money to keep them going for a while. And I think these assholes, what the plan is if Trump's elected in November, or they're going to stop just prior to that, they're going to stop all the benefits, all of the handouts for illegal aliens. And which leaves them only one option. They either go back or they turn to crime. And I have a feeling that the Democrats are going to burn down as much as they possibly can as they're going out the door, if this actually does happen. And they might do it anyway, just because, to do the whole Institute martial law thing and everything else, even if they do manage to stay in power.
Well,
So,
I wish I could be an
we say
optimist.
that Joe Biden does this.
I wish I could be an
No,
optimist
there is
like you,
there is
but
no optimism in this.
I don't think they're going anywhere.
Yeah. Who, the illegals
No,
or the Democrats?
the Biden administration, the Democrats.
Yeah, I agree.
Next week, they'd go down to a
And,
one-vote majority in the House of Representatives because some guy quit. And you
because
know,
all these assholes,
thank you, Annie. And you know what he said today on the news? He goes, the reason I'm leaving next week is this place is so fucked up.
Fucked up. Yeah. Well, he didn't help it any by bailing on it.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, I mean, if we lose,
Yeah, if we lose one more seat, Akeem Jeffries becomes the speaker.
Yep. Can you imagine? Jesus Christ. Well, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Maybe that's all part of the plan too.
Now they'll take somebody out now. You watch. Some poor Republican will die tragically now. So
Yep.
We're in the
Something is
middle.
gonna
The American
weird
people
happen.
are writing the
But all this
greatest
shit's
comeback
being
story never told.
what does that even mean?
So let's tell the story here. Tell it here
We're
and
not-
now. America's comeback is building the future of American possibilities, building an economy from the middle out and the bottom up, not the top down. Investing in all America, in all Americans, to make sure everyone has a fair shot. We leave no one behind. The pandemic no longer controls our lives. The
Boy.
vaccines that saved us from COVID are now being used to beat cancer, turning setback into comeback. That's what America does. That's what America does.
Hold the video right there. You know what I was told by a cancer doctor the other day? They're putting the mRNA
I heard-
vaccine in chemotherapy drugs.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's supposed to cure cancer. Yeah. Okay.
Well, don't
I
forget his wife's a
follow the
doctor. Don't
science,
forget
right?
his wife's a
Yeah,
doctor.
okay.
She should know.
Well, yeah, because she's a doctor of education. Of course she should know. She should be able to cure cancer while she's making breakfast. Jesus Christ!
I'm pretty sure they got a cook at the White House.
A cook?
Blaze, continue if you got something more.
Folks, my inherited economy is on the brink. Now our economy is literally the envy of the world. 15 million new jobs in just
Oh my
3 years. A record. A record.
There's another line.
Unemployment at 50-year lows. A record 16 million Americans are starting small businesses, and each one is a literal act of hope. With historic job growth and small business growth for Black and Hispanics and Asian Americans, 800,000 new manufacturing jobs in America and counting. Where is it written we can't be the manufacturing capital of the world? We are, we will. More people have health insurance today. More people have health insurance today than ever before. The racial wealth gap is as small as it's been in 20 years. Wages keep going up, inflation keeps coming down. Inflation has dropped from 9% to 3%, the lowest in.
So everybody has health insurance. Obamacare. You ever see how Obamacare works?
Yeah.
Take a local trip to the emergency room some night. You get a fucking 8-hour wait.
Yep. If you can even get it in at all. And as far as, I had to put back a $9 jar of mayonnaise at the grocery store the other day. I could not bring myself to pay $9 for a jar of mayonnaise.
It's around here. It's
is that?
$9 for a dozen of eggs.
Jesus, what the hell, man? But inflation's under control. It's the envy of the world.
And they're worried about.
Jeez, I'm so
he's actually more worried about. He mentioned this the other night too. I wanted to puke when he said this. Stagflation. So Frito-Lay's is making large bags of chips, same bags, but they're putting less chips in. So he's actually blaming. He's actually blaming he's actually blaming the manufacturers for this.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're doing it. It's shrinkflation, and they do it so they don't have to raise prices. they're trying to keep things under control. Yeah, new businesses starting up. No, that's not happening because of regulations. Manufacturing jobs. Yeah, that's why China's making all their cars in Mexico now, and then trying to
I
sell
just
them
want to
here
say this.
instead of making
I
them
just want
here.
to say this. When Trump was president, a lot of these companies came back to the U.S. from overseas. And day one, when this buffoon took office, they all moved out again.
Well, sure. They knew they were going to get regulated up the ass, so why would they want to stick around for that? I mean, shit, they're not even going to get kissed, man, before they get fucked. It's sad, sad state of affairs. This state of confusion. Okay, continue with the video.
I notice
Where
we're
are we
getting.
now?
I wonder why we're getting tagged with this R-rated label tonight. No one under 18. What did we do to deserve that?
Oh, that's all right. Gee,
Huh?
I have absolutely no idea what. I have no fucking idea what we could have fucking done to be tagged.
Because I had the kindergarten kids, school teacher tuned in, recording this for the kids at school tomorrow.
Oops.
Yeah,
We probably should have kept the douchebaggery to a minimum then.
I'm gonna have to call her tonight and tell her it's off.
I know. We were talking about Blaze with the stripper pole and his disco studio and all that. And we probably
All right, Mr. Producer, keep going.
Boot us off TikTok. Hello. Can you hear me now?
And tending lower. The landing is and will be soft. And now, instead of importing foreign products and exporting American jobs, we're exporting American products and creating American jobs. Right here in
we're
America,
not.
where they belong.
No, we're not. Jesus Christ.
And it takes time, but the American people are beginning to feel it. Consumer studies show consumer confidence is soaring.
I'm feeling it all right.
America.
I can't even sit down and do it. No.
Since the 1930s.
Yep.
Past administrations, including my predecessor, including some Democrats as well in the past, failed to buy American. Not anymore. On my watch, federal projects that you fund, like helping build American roads, bridges, and highways, will be made with American products and built by American workers.
Hold up there for a second.
Creating good-paying American jobs.
Translation. Pork barrel projects are going to expand. How's that sound?
Yep. There was a kernel of truth in that, though, in that America is for sale. Biden's America, and he's doing his damnedest to sell it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yes. Good. Excellent point. All right, Mr. Producer, keep going.
And thanks to our CHIPS and Science Act, the United States is investing more in research and development than ever before. During the pandemic, a shortage of semiconductors, chips, that drove up the price of everything from cell phones to automobiles. And by the way, we invented those chips right here in America. Well, instead of having to import them,
that's a lie. It came from China.
Now investing billions of dollars to build new chip factories here in America, creating tens of thousands of jobs. Many of those jobs paying $100,000 a year and don't require a college degree.
Good point, Annie.
In fact, my policies have attracted $650 billion in private sector investment in clean energy, advanced manufacturing, creating tens of thousands of jobs here in America. And thanks to our bipartisan infrastructure law, 46,000 new projects have been announced all across your communities. And by the way, I noticed some of you strongly voted against it, or they're cheering on that money coming in. I like it.
Yeah, that's the pork barrel you were talking about.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
If any of you don't want that money in your district, just let me know. Modernizing our roads and bridges, ports and airports, public transit systems. Removing poisonous lead pipes so every child can drink clean water without risk of brain damage. Providing affordable high-speed internet for every American, no matter where you live, urban, suburban, or rural communities, in red states and blue states. Record investments in tribal communities. Because of my investment in a family farm,
535.
because I invested in family farms led by my Secretary of Agriculture, who knows more about
Family investment in family
500
farms. They're killing fucking, they're euthanizing fucking cows and everything. They're shutting family farms down.
535,000 family farms have disappeared so far.
Yeah. And they're accusing family farms of being one of the main causes of climate change.
Well, yeah, I mean, now they're trying to put geolocating tags on cows and for some weird reason.
I passed more fucking gas than my cows ever thought of passing.
Yeah, I believe
All
that,
right.
actually.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Ms. Producer, you keep
Welcome,
going.
welcome.
this than anybody I know. We're better able to stay in the family for those farms and their children and grandchildren won't have to leave home to make a living. It's transformative.
Yeah, okay.
Great comeback story is Belvedere, Illinois. Home to an auto plant for nearly 60 years. Before I came to office, the plant was on its way to shutting down. Thousands of workers feared for their livelihoods. Hope was fading. Then I was elected to office and we raised the Belvedere repeatedly with auto companies knowing unions would make all the difference. The UAW worked like hell to keep the plant open and get these jobs back, and together we succeeded. Instead of auto factories shutting down, auto factories reopening, and new state-of-the-art battery factories being built to power those cars there at the same.
Can you hold up there for a minute? I think this buffoon fails to realize the reason a lot of the auto factories were shut down was because Trump had to convert them to make ventilators for people with COVID. Remember?
Yep.
Chet?
Yep.
Remember?
Been going on for a while anyway. Yes. Yep, I remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
so
was
now he's taking credit for
blame all catch-all for all this. For
yeah, so
reopening.
now he's blaming
the jobs,
blaming
anything else. So
yeah. No,
right,
but
it's
those
just
plants
a
were never
normal
shut down. They
recovery
were
that
just
he's trying to
converted
get
to making ventilators. Yeah. All right, keep going,
Right.
Mr. Producer.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and masks and all that stupid shit.
The folks of Belvedere, I say, instead of your town being left behind, your community is moving forward again. Because instead of watching auto jobs in the future go overseas, 4,000 union jobs with higher wages are building the future in Belvedere right here in America.
Hey, Blaze, can you hold it there for a sec? So Annie Hartford brings out a really good point. What about all the jobs that were lost from the pipeline? He never mentioned one of those, did he?
No, of course not.
Annie brought out a good point. I totally forgot about
Yeah,
that.
well, yeah, that was a whole separate thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
he's talking
killed
about
that, all that
jobs,
shit,
but he
all the
never once
energy,
mentioned-
all the energy plans. Yeah,
Yeah,
he killed all of
and
those.
he killed those
off the first
jobs,
day in
too.
office.
Yeah.
And
All right,
They were
Mr. Producer,
replaced
keep
by
going.
Executive order.
Here tonight is UAW President Shawn Fain, a great friend and a great labor leader. Shawn, where are you? Stand up. And Dawn Sims, a third generation worker, UAW worker at Belvedere. Shawn, I was proud to be the first president to stand on the picket line, and today Dawn has a good job in her hometown, providing stability for her family and pride and dignity as well. Showing once again, Wall Street didn't build America. They're not bad guys. They didn't build it, though. The middle class built the country, and unions built the middle class.
Somebody else has sold his soul to the devil.
I say to the American people, when America gets knocked down, we get back up. We keep going. That's America. That's you, the American people. It's because of you America's coming back. It's because of you our future is brighter. It's because of you that tonight we can proudly say the state of our union is strong and getting stronger.
Another big fat line. Annie, you're right.
Yeah.
Didn't help the U.S. in the least.
Tonight, I want to talk about the future of possibilities that we can build together. A future where the days of trickle-down economics are over, and the wealthy and the biggest corporations no longer get to allow the tax breaks. And by the way, I understand corporations. I come from a state that has more corporations invested than every one of your states in the state of the United States combined. And I represented it for 36 years. I'm not anti-corporation, but I grew up in a home where trickle-down economics didn't put much on my dad's kitchen table. That's why I determined to turn things around so middle class does well. When they do well, the poor go way up and the wealthy still do very well. We all do well. And there's more to do to make sure you're feeling the benefits of all we're doing. Americans pay more for prescription drugs than anywhere in the world. It's wrong, and I'm ending it.
Really?
Hold it there for a second, Blaze. He can't end it. Big Pharma won't let him end it.
Nope. There's no possible way. That's another whole level of scammery.
Scammery and lies. Well, you and I were having this conversation last week about the
Scammery
cost of
lies.
prescriptions. You know? So,
Yep. Yeah, that conversation about one of them being $47,000 a month.
Yeah. So, yeah.
How does anybody
Okay.
pay for that? We don't.
It's impossible.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Insulin. You know, he keeps going back to insulin. The cost of insulin has gone down.
Yeah.
Or something.
No, it hasn't.
No. Nope, not in the least.
It's not going to go down either.
All right. Well, are we? Has he almost run out of Adderall? Is it wearing off here? Are we almost done with this?
No. Blaze, how much more we got in this?
For the law that I proposed and signed, not one of your Republican buddies voted for it. We finally beat Big Pharma.
10 minutes.
Instead of paying $400 a month or thereabouts for insulin with diabetes, and it only costs $10 to make, they only get paid $35 a month now and still make a healthy profit. And what to do next? I want to cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for every American in Indonesia. Everyone. For years, people have talked about it, but finally we got it done and gave Medicare the power to negotiate lower prices on prescription drugs, just like the VA is able to do for veterans. That's not just saving seniors
Yeah, they
money.
just quit cutting.
It's saving taxpayers money. We cut the federal deficit by
VA,
$160
biggest abject
billion.
show you going.
Why the hell is Bernie
Because
Sanders wearing a mask?
will no longer have to pay those exorbitant prices to Big Pharma.
Because he's a dink.
This year, Medicare is negotiating lower prices for some of the costliest drugs on the market to treat everything from heart disease to arthritis. It's now time to go further and give Medicare the power to negotiate lower prices for 500 different drugs over the next decade. They're making a lot of money, guys. And they'll still be extremely profitable. will not only save lives, it will save taxpayers another
Answer that question.
$200 billion.
Yeah.
Starting next year, the same law caps total prescription drug costs for seniors on Medicare at $2,000 a year, even for expensive cancer drugs that cost $10,000, $12,000, $15,000. Now I want to cap prescription drug costs at $2,000 a year for everyone. Folks, I'm going to get in trouble for saying that, but if you want to get in Air Force One with me and fly to Toronto, Berlin, Moscow, even Moscow, probably. And bring your prescription with you, and I promise you I'll get it for you for 40% the cost you're paying now. Same company, same drug, same place. Folks, the Affordable Care Act, the old Obamacare, it's still a very big deal.
Obamacare is the thing that get us in trouble.
Yep, this was the start of it all. I wonder if he worked out. I wonder if he got Hunter's crack at a discount.
What?
100
I wonder if he got
million
Hunter's crack at a
can
discount.
no longer be denied health insurance because of pre-existing condition. Well, my predecessor and many in this chamber want to take this prescription drug away by repealing the Affordable Care Act. I'm not going to let that happen. We stopped you 50 times before it will stop you again. In fact, I'm not only protecting it, I'm expanding it. We enacted tax credits of $800 per person per year, reduce health care costs for millions of working families. That tax credit expires next year. I want to make that savings permanent. To state the obvious, women are more than half our population, but research on women's health has always been underfunded. That's why we're launching the first ever White House initiative on women's health research, led by Jill, doing an incredible job as First Lady. We'll pass my plan for $12 billion to transfer women's health research and benefit millions of lives all across America. I know the cost of housing is so important to you. If inflation keeps coming down, mortgage rates will come down as well, and the Fed acknowledges that. But I'm not waiting. I want to provide an annual tax credit that will give Americans $400 a month for the next 2 years as mortgage rates come down, to put toward their mortgages when they buy their first home or trade up for a little more space. Just for 2 years. And my administration is also eliminating title insurance on federally backed mortgages. When you refinance your home, you can save $1,000 or more as a consequence. For millions of renters, we're cracking down on big landlords who use antitrust law, who break antitrust laws by price fixing and driving up rents. We've cut red tape so builders can get federally financing, which is already helping build a record 1.7 million new housing units nationwide. Now pass and build and renovate 2 million affordable homes.
All right,
and bring those rents down.
Why don't we stop it here, Mr. Producer? One more thing I want to point out. He was wrong about the title insurance. You can't cancel title insurance. I think he was thinking about PMI. But anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. All right, so listen.
I'm trying to...
Now, in honor of all the douchebags wearing white tonight, I present to you the following video. It's only 6 minutes long. Watch and enjoy. And I need you to pay attention because there'll be a test after. Mr. Producer, please play the video.
So this is the universal hot crazy matrix. It's everything a young man needs to know about women. I've developed this on my own over 46 years of living on the earth. So this is how it works. You have your crazy axis and your hot axis. Hot is, as usual, measured from 0 to 10. We're all familiar with that. Crazy is measured from 4 to 10 because, of course, there's no such thing as a woman who's not at least a 4 crazy. So you got 4 to 10. This is your hot crazy line right here. Very important that you keep in mind where the hot crazy line is. As a rule, this is your no-go zone. We do not hang around and date and marry women who are not, at least in our mind, a 5. So this is your no-go zone. You don't go here. We just rule this out. Life is better this way. That's the way it is. All right. Above a 5 and to about an 8, and below the crazy line, this is your fun zone. You can hang out here and meet these girls and spend time with them. That's your fun zone. But keep in mind, when you're in the fun zone, you want to move out of the fun zone to a more permanent location. Okay? So that's the fun zone. Above a 5, hot. Below an 8, hot. And below the crazy line. This means these are, most of the time, not crazy. Okay? Above the danger zone, above the crazy line, we have the danger zone. This is your redheads, your strippers, anyone named Tiffany. This is hairdressers. This is where your car gets keyed. You get a bunny in the pot. Your tires get slashed, and you wind up in jail. Now we have some of the chart filled in. We got a couple more pieces to put in, but at this point, understand something. This is not a static environment. This is a situation where you have got to use this matrix over time to develop some reliable data. It's like a dope chart, okay? Because at any moment in time, any woman that you have previously located on this chart can vanish from that location and appear anywhere else on the chart. So what you have to do is, over time, collect some data. And once you have a cluster of data points, you can begin to consider that reliable. Now, moving on, you have this zone here. This is below the crazy line, above an 8 hot, but still, about a 7 crazy. This is your date zone. You can stay in the date zone indefinitely. These are women that you introduce to your friends and your family. They're good looking and they're reasonably not crazy most of the time. Okay? So you can stay here indefinitely. Now, above an 8 hot and between about a 7 and a 5 crazy, this is your wife zone. Okay? When you meet this girl, you should consider a long-term relationship. This zone is not scaled to size. This is a representation and not an actual. This is not a pie chart showing you how many of these people are out there. This is simply a representation of what you're after. You want to be 5 to 7 crazy, above an 8 hot. That's your wife zone. Okay. Now, below a 5 crazy and above an 8 hot, this is your unicorn zone. These things don't exist. If you find a unicorn, please capture it safely, keep it alive. We'd like to study it and maybe look at how to replicate that. Okay? So I was explaining this to a guy one time, and he said, wait a minute. I met this girl, and she's like smoking hot. She's like at least a 9, and she's chill. She's totally cool. She's like not even a 3 crazy. I said, you're telling me you've met a girl, she's a 9 hot, and she's like a 2 or a 3 crazy? He said, yeah, man, I like her a lot. I said, you should be careful. That's a dude. You're talking to a tranny. So you got to be careful, because down here below a 4 crazy and above an 8 hot, you're probably talking to a dude. That is the universal hot crazy matrix.
All right, Dana, that was pretty good. Now, let me ask you, like,
Oh my
for the
God.
women watching, is there a male version of that? I mean, would it also be?
Oh yeah, it's a little simpler.
If a dude is super hot, okay.
Yeah, it's a little simpler, but we can do it real quick. It doesn't take very long at all. For women, this is your matrix. You got your cute axis, and you got your money axis. Okay, and if you have, there's only 3 sections. Women have a very large no-go zone. This is for dudes who are neither hot nor have a lot of money. You'll notice over here, this is the husband section. Once you cross a line and have sufficient amounts of money, it is no longer relevant how hot you are. And then women have a fun zone here where a dude is broke but hot. That is the cute versus rich matrix for women's use.
Anyway, that's our show for tonight.
Ay, caramba. Remember when I opened with the views expressed are our own, and
You
no
owe me for
reflection
that.
of-
You owe me for that one.
I do, but I opened. Remember, I said it, the views expressed are our own. They are no reflection of Global Tactical Training, the FFN network, so forth and so on.
Right.
So, yeah, okay. So send your emails and comments and concerns to Rennie at
Yeah.
I'm really sorry at hotmail.com. All right, that's enough of this nonsense.
All
Let's
right.
go home.
Great show, guys.
Oh boy.
I won't be coming home tonight.